Hello and good day, Welcome to the Super Good Camping Podcast. My name is Pamela.
I'm Tim.
And we are from supergoodcamping.com. We're here because we are on a mission to inspire other people to get outside and enjoy camping adventures such as we have as family. Today's guest has chatted with us the most of any of our guests. This will be her fourth appearance on the podcast, I think.
I want to say fifth.
Maybe fifth.
Awesome.
She was our very first guest ever. She loves the outdoors and video making. She heads out on lots of adventures year-round, and most are solo adventures. She's completed level 1, 2, and instructor level courses for sea kayaking, level 1 to 4 canoe certifications, wilderness first aid, and map and compass level 1 and 2 certifications. She's produced her own courses on backcountry camping and winter camping. You can check out her YouTube channel to see some of the awesome places she visits. Please welcome back Camper Christina. Yay, welcome.
Yay! Super Good Camping!
We love your shirt.
Nice shirt.
Thank you! I had it made just for today.
That's Tim's photography right there.
Photography.
Photography.
I take lots of pictures. I shoot lots of video. I just am too lazy to edit it, so you guys never get to see that stuff.
Well, Christina likes doing the video editing.
Apparently she does. She's a bit of a whack job. Could be why we love her. How the heck are you, and what have you been up to lately? I know life's been busy with moving and all of those things that take up so much time and stuff, but I have to assume, life is good at the new place?
Life is very good at the new place. I have a pet beaver.
I heard. Saw the video. You looked like you were
I
watching.
love to say that because people are just like, what? For many reasons, even if they think I'm really talking about a legitimate beaver, which I am. I mean, he's not my pet. I guess I inherited him when I got the house. Actually, he came by about a month after I moved in June, and he just kind of stayed. I call him Beavy, and he's my bud. He's super chill. And I love to see what he's up to. He's now built a lodge in the corner of the pond. I was excited because I thought I would maybe get to skate on it this winter, but he's trying to keep the pond not frozen. Minus 19 right now, so today he's struggling. But every morning I wake up and there's kind of a little puddle around where his lodge is, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it makes me kind of not want to leave home sometimes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's, I would imagine having a pond like literally outside your door is a pretty cool thing.
It is. I can look out the window right now. If it was daylight, I could see it. It's pretty awesome. I have 3 acres, huge amount of forest in the back. I was hoping to see deer. I only seen them twice so far. There's a dog in the house across the street, so someone said maybe that's why.
Barky, maybe.
Yeah, the barking, but. Beavy has a pet as well, a little muskrat that hangs out with him sometimes. So I've seen him. I've seen otters. I have a plethora of birds that I am the caretaker to now. And I feed those guys year round. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. Winter has been challenging so far. I've almost been struck by an oncoming vehicle twice now in a week. Last Thursday, actually, a week ago. Someone came flying in the air at me. So
cool.
It's a little bit treacherous driving, but that's the way it is. I guess that's what I got to do to live out here. So
I thought it was just down here in Toronto that they all forgot how to drive in the winter and then had to remember by smashing into somebody.
It's most of my drive to work is roads like this.
Windy weavy, yep.
So, which is fine, but people seem to want to drive really fast and yeah, the guy was coming at me and I saw the one car coming and then the other one just missed the turn. He went right across the road, right in front of me, went down the ditch, up the ditch, airborne, flying. I'm like, oh God. And somehow it just kind of tilted and he landed right side up and bounced a couple ways there, a couple feet, and then landed in a driveway right next to me.
Gadzooks, man.
Pretty scary. Yeah. So it's been an adventure all in itself, but still worth it so far. So.
Do you have a lot of snow?
We don't have a ton here. Jenny is in Aurelia. They have a lot more there. We've gotten about, I've only snowblown fully twice on the weekend. So maybe 8 inches-ish. So yeah, not too much, but we got more coming. So.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Me too. We've had some crappy, heavy, wet gunk, so the stuff that's you can't snowblow it if you want to, because it just goes blow up on the beside you. So I've had to push that around a bit, but so far so good. We're just starting to get into those kind of temperatures. I think we're supposed to hit -12 tonight when we're recording this. So that'll be the first double digit negative we've hit so far. So
yeah, well, it's not -19, so
yeah. It's not -19.
And this is the coldest it's been. Like today and yesterday, just kind of dropped last night. It's -19 on my outside thermometer right now, and that's not with the wind chill. So yeah, it's a little bit chilly, but it's not bad, and it's not snowing. And we have the super moon. It's actually called the cold moon, and it's out right now over the pond, and it's just beautiful. So.
Okay, we're going to pause this so I can go have a look. Okay, cool. Well, that's obviously we have chatted a bunch of times in real life as well. So sorry for you guys having to listen to us do catch up, because that's what pals do. We catch up on stuff. Speaking of catch up, since we haven't spoken in 2 years, do a short version, because you do a bunch of stuff. But what have you been up to? Give us some of the highlights you've been out and about doing.
Well, this year was a bit rough because I moved in June and, by myself. So, spent months and months and months and months purging. I had a basement. Now I have a 2-bedroom house without a basement. I have some outbuildings, but still it was a lot of, paring down stuff and getting rid of a lot of things, which was great. And so that kind of left me a little bit stuck, because I moved on June 19th. And then it was paddling season, like it had already started. So I hadn't had time to plan much. So I ended up spending a lot of time in Opemican this year. I met them at the Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show in February, and they're like, we've got this new park, and come see us, and we'd love to have you. And so I thought, well, let's see. So I sent an email to Marissa, who runs some things over there, and she was like, yeah, you should do this and this. And I actually ended up going there 4 times this year.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I'm going to be doing a presentation on it on the Sunday at the Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show, which I'm excited about, just to kind of show all the different things that you can do there. And I haven't even done all the things that you can do there, but they always seem to have openings. It's not very far. It's a 3-hour drive from here, just like Temagami. And, beautiful area, lots of different things you can do there. So I spent a lot of time there. And I also went back to another place in Quebec, which you guys heard about last year. For those of you who don't know, I went to Quebec to do this amazing route called Route 61 at a place called La Vérendrye. And I capsized on the first day of my trip.
Bye-bye phone.
Bye-bye phone, right? That's really all I lost was my tripod selfie stick and my phone, because it wasn't lashed into the canoe, which I do now. I had a bit of trauma from that, I guess. I lost some confidence. I did go back out on, I think, 4 or 5 trips before the end of the season last year. This year I found the same thing. I was kind of feeling a little bit like, I did a few more extra trips this year with friends. I think I did quite a few trips with Jenny this year, who was willing. She's always willing to head out on an adventure with me, which is great. And I went back to Route 61. As I promised everyone, the end of my presentation at the Toronto show last year was, well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to see if I can find my phone. And I think some people took it literally. Like, I got a couple of messages saying, oh, did you find your phone? And I'm like, well, I didn't really look. I actually was in the dump area and didn't even realize I was in it, because the water was so high when I was there last year, and then so low this year. I don't know what you guys saw, but the water levels everywhere were down this year.
We noticed the same thing. It's funny because Pamela, a picture came up on her smart screen the other day, and Pamela's like, is that the same place that you guys were at? Because Thomas and I did a spring trip up at Palmer Rapids and then a late summer trip. And it was. And all of that water that we were looking at in the spring was way over there. There was none over here anymore. It was just stunning difference.
Yes. So that's what happened to me. And I think even Hap Wilson had said the water is the lowest in Temagami it's been in 50 years. This year. I was, making my way through, and, day one, I wanted to conquer it. I wanted to get through that spot and get to that lake that I never saw and make camp there. And when I headed out in the morning, just before I lost my service, there was a big thunderstorm coming in, thunder and lightning and all the fun things. And it was supposed to be coming in at 2. So I was kind of trucking through, and, I was filming everything going, oh, wow, that doesn't look like it did last year. And then what I did last year when I made my presentation was I took pictures and video clips from other trips that looked like what I remembered in my mind. And so then I had this third, now I was having this third perception of what I was seeing, right? Because I was like, okay, I remembered it one way, and then I put this picture in there in the presentation, and now it looks like this. And it was different also because of the water levels. So I get to the spot where I thought I dumped. I didn't even realize at first. I'm just paddling along, and I'm like, oh, there's some really shallow water here. I got to jump out of the canoe, and I start pulling the canoe through, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, this is the place. I didn't even recognize it. I did not even recognize it. Last year, it was whoosh, rushing water coming towards me, no way to get up it, dumped me, right? Like, just flipped me over. Boop, boop, boop. And this year, I'm walking through, and I'm about halfway through, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. And so I paused, and of course, I'm in like some, I don't want to say they're rapids, because the water's like, just deep enough for me to pull the canoe through if I got out. But it's shallow, and I'm standing there, and the current's pretty strong, and it's pushing me, and I'm like, okay, hang on. I got to move the canoe over. I got to take some pictures and videos. And I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown there, and kind of, just the emotions really hit me, that I was back in this place. And it was too late to look for the phone because I had gone way past where I dumped already, and I didn't want to go back because I had this weather coming in. And so I just kind of, stopped for a few minutes. I took some pictures and videos, and then I carried on. It turns out that wasn't actually the hard section of the day. The next R1, I had assumed that I had dumped on the second R1, just because I had paddled through another one, and thought it was the first one. But I was actually I dumped in the first R1. So I paddled a little bit after I went through there. The second R1 was treacherous. It was kind of like this. And I don't know how people get through it with a bigger canoe. Like, I've got a 14.6. I got stuck on a couple of the turns. The water was only this deep. So I'm literally pulling, but not lifting the boat up over these rocks. And at one point, it got jammed where like the front was on a rock and the back was on a rock, and I'm lifting up the whole canoe full of all my gear. And I'm like, the storm's coming, I gotta go. But then I'm like, wow, look at this. I gotta take pictures and videos. And anyways, I ended up getting out. And then there's a big, huge beaver dam. I finally make it onto the lake that I'm camping on. I start paddling across it, and the wind starts picking up. And just as I'm getting to where the campsite is, it's beautiful beach landing. The waves are starting to smash me against the rocks. And I get out, and I set up my buck shelter super fast and get all my stuff in it. And then the lightning and thunder came, and the whole rest of the day was thunder and lightning. And I was just like, wow. But the trip was amazing. The route was unbelievable. It was full of so many different kinds of challenges. Like there was a sand cliff at one point. It was the end of the portage, and it's like this. And I'm standing at the top going, are you kidding me right now? And then at the bottom of it, there were rapids. And I'm not a fan of white water. And so then I stood down at the bottom for a half an hour going, what am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? And literally it was like, done, right? And I'm laughing afterwards going, but I was paranoid still because I still had that unease from last year. But everything was in my favor this year. The water levels were low. The weather was great. Anytime it rained, I was sleeping or I had just gotten to camp. The wind was at my back, literally on some of them. The scenery was stunning. Some of the most beautiful waterfalls I've ever seen. And when I got to the end, I just cried a little bit and very, very emotional. And I'm so proud of myself for going back and doing it. And, I don't want to say I've done harder routes in comparison. Yeah, some of the fire burn places I've done in Temagami, difficult, challenging, crazy. So it was equally hard, but just so much more rewarding after what I went through to get there, and it was funny because I almost canceled the trip. I don't know how many times. I was so anxious going into it. As I mentioned, I got this new house and everything was supposed to have been done. The septic, I have septic now, never had septic before. Septic was supposed to be cleaned. I had an invoice saying septic was done. And it's like my car's running. It's all packed up. I'm about ready to start this 10-hour drive to do this trip that I'm super anxious about. And I do one last pee in the bathroom, flush the toilet. Up everything comes.
Good
and in the toilet, in the shower. It's surprising because it doesn't smell. You would think, oh, this poop's coming up. It's just like water with little black specks in it. But my whole bathroom started flooding and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I've got to leave at a certain time because the campground I was staying at, I was doing a jump off the night before. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to go. Like, everything is telling me to stay home right now. And I called the guy at work and he's got a plumber friend. And he said, you know what? Go on your trip, do your thing, leave a key. I'll send the plumber guy and we'll have it all fixed up for you. And I literally wiped up the floor and just got in the car and left. And again, so glad I did. It wasn't a sign. Everything went great. But people are always like, oh, I never have the guts to do that, or that would make me scared. I get scared too. We all get scared, right? We all get anxious. We all have these signs of things that happen, and you just kind of gotta, go through it and smile and just do it. And I did, and I made it. So really, really rewarding to finish that route, and so happy I went back and did it. So that was pretty much my trip of the year, the big one. I did a lot of other trips, but nothing as significant in my opinion. So, yeah.
How many days of tripping are you sort of racking up these days? Like the last 2-3 years?
On average, I do approximately 2 trips a month. Year round, depending on when that is. Maybe August is 3, maybe January is 1. It just depends on the time of year and the weather. And they're generally weekends. I don't work at my office on Fridays.
Slacker.
I work longer hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I'm still working a full week, but I'm cramming it into 4 days so that it sounds lovely. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 90% of the time I'm sitting in front of my computer editing videos. I mean, the footage that I have just from La Vérendrye, I have 15 and a half hours of video footage from La Vérendrye it was a 6-day trip. So I'm down to 12 hours now and I'm working my way through that right now because I'm trying to get ready for the shows. So the next couple weekends are going to be, getting these videos done and making these presentations and getting ready for the spring shows. So, which I'm really excited about.
So on the thought of presentations, like you present at the Toronto show every year.
Yeah, I think it's my 7th or 8th year.
Right. And I've seen you at David Bain was doing the winter symposium and all that sort of jazz. So I make the assumption you sort of slot one of your upcoming trips to be what you hope to do the presentation about, because there's got to be an awful lot of brain process for how you think it's going to go, and then to see how the trip goes, and then to put it all together. So, I know it's going to be a bunch of work. That's not the question. Is it a shitload of work? Yes, it is. What's the process to go? Yeah, I think that's going to be the trip, and then how do you put a presentation together? How long does that portion of it take? That's got to be, you got to put together your slideshow or your video presentation or all the little bits, make all your notes. not trying to set anybody up to be able to do presentations per se. I'm just like, I want people to know what an ordeal it is when you go to see them at the show and they do, 45 minutes or whatever it is, and how many hours that 45 minutes has cost them.
I think my process is probably much longer than most people's. I actually don't generally present on trips. Last year was the first year that I presented on a trip. And it was on the capsizing. And so for that trip, I had no pictures and videos whatsoever. So, and I ended up with 76 slides or something of photos. So it was a really lengthy process for that because I had nothing. And I was literally scouring through, I think in my mind, okay, I'm paddling through that river. What did it look like? Well, it looked kind of like the Lady Evelyn. And then I'd go through my Lady Evelyn, footage from each trip that I've done there and go, oh, that looks just like it. And then I'd get that picture and put it in the slide and then set up the slide with the text or whatever. And then on to the next slide. So, a slide could take me an hour or 2 hours, depending. For this one, because I did the Capsize last year and I told people I was coming back to do it, I'm doing the La Vérendrye trip, which I haven't done very little, 3 hours of editing so far. So I've saved it and I didn't want to put it up on YouTube because I don't want people to see it and then come to the show and be like, I already know about that.
I know this. Yeah.
Which is going to be partial what Opemican is, but I'm doing that one on the Sunday because we get a lot of newbies at the Toronto show on the Sunday. People who, some of them don't even know who I am or, what I'm doing. Not that they should, but, they're people that are like, oh, what's this outdoor stuff? Let's go see these things. And so it's going to be a bit more on the park, but on my adventures in the park. So that won't be too hard, but yeah, I would say probably 3 solid weekends. I've already been working on the La Vérendrye video. First, I want to make the videos because they're going to get released after the presentation. But also I go through the videos, and as I'm going through the video editing, I'm taking notes now, like, okay, oh yeah, this, and then I'm taking the clip right from there and putting it into my little folder that says, OAS Prezi. And so that when I go to start making it, I've already got all the clips and things there and I can just draw from them and then reduce them. Because the first thing I need to do is make a trailer. Not everybody does that, but I like to make a trailer for the show and, I'll be like, little clips and bits and pieces. And last year it was like, oh, I saw a bear and blah, blah, blah. And, and then like to get people excited and go, wow, what's that about? I want to go see that. Where is that? When is it? And I do that partially for the show and partially for me. I like to attract people and be like, hey, look what I did. And let's, come check this out. It's really cool. And so that'll be the first thing I do. And then I'll start working into the presentation. So before that, I have something else that I'm working on, which is a contest. Yeah. So I want to talk a bit about that because it's not something I normally do, but I am going to be at the Hamilton Adventure Expo. I think you guys are going as well. I think everybody's going. It's a huge new show. This is the second year. I missed last year. I wanted to go, but when I heard about it, I had already committed to Canoecopia, the Quiet Adventure Symposium, and the Toronto show. And they're all like weekend in a row. Driving to Canoecopia, it's in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a 14-hour each way. Like, it was just too much. And I said, I'm really sorry. I want to come, but that's 4 hours of driving for me each way. Plus, I ended up canceling Quiet Adventure because of the U.S. stuff. We don't want to go into politics, but, and I did go to Canoecopia, but this year I'm just doing Toronto. And so I really wanted to attend the Hamilton Adventure Expo. I love what they're doing. And I have been invited to do a little contest. Jeff from H2O, who's one of my lovely sponsors, he has invited me to share a little space in his booth. And you guys are getting the scoop on this because nobody knows about this contest except the people who I've talked to about getting prizes, and Jeff, of course. So Hamilton doesn't even know about it. They know I'm doing something, but they don't know what. So basically, have you ever heard of Speaker's Corner?
The City TV staple, which I hear is coming back, by the way. Just a side note. I think
well, it's coming to Hamilton this January.
They're bringing it into the new Alma combo, but yes.
Isn't it?
Really?
They just got their start.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, maybe the younger crews, Speaker's Corner was a booth that they used to have at Queen and something in Toronto. And I think it was $1, and anybody could go in this booth and put your quarters in there and film a video of whatever you wanted to talk about, you know, whether it was like they didn't clean the roads properly in the winter or, you know, people's dogs were pooping everywhere, whatever it was. And then they would pick some and they would air them on TV. And it was a big thing. Yeah. So I got the idea from that. I'm really not sure where I got it from, but one day I just got this, because I've been thinking and thinking and thinking, and that's the process, right? February, the shows end and my brain starts going, what am I doing next year? What am I going to present on? What am I going to talk about? And it goes on and on and on until I find that trip or I get that topic, you know, tips and tricks or whatever it is. And then I start working on it throughout the whole year until I start. So it's not just a couple weekends. It's really a very long process for me because I really want to do something great and I love presenting. But anyways, the contest is going to be called Camper Christina's Corner. Jeff is making me up a booth, which is, can you guess what the booth is made of?
Like a tent, like a teepee?
It's going to be a canoe-shaped booth?
Oh, of course it is. A canoe, yes.
So it is, I believe, a half of a canoe. I don't even know the size. I sent Jeff these sketches that I made that came out of my crazy brain. I get these weird ideas sometimes and they come to fruition and they're like, wow, this is cool. So the canoe is standing up, but you turn the seat sideways. So somebody can sit inside of the canoe and I'm going to be filming 1-minute video clips. Anybody can come and tell a 1-minute paddling story. I'm going to have a bunch of different topics. I'm still settling on those. But you know, your favorite paddling adventure or double blade, single blade, whatever you want to come and pick a topic and you come into the booth. You film a 1-minute, I filmed the 1-minute video. You're going to fill out a little form. I'm going to have some in advance online and pick your topic. And then you do this 1-minute video. And then after the show, we're going to go through the clips and we're going to pick people to win prizes from the best of each topic. So again, it's still not 100% finalized, but you know, we've still got a few weeks. So far, I have Trekka is giving me a tent to give away worth like $500. AquaQuest is giving me some gift certificates for $50. I've got Agawa. I'm trying to get a lot of the local vendors that are at the show, like Agawa, and I've talked to Camp Kitchen. Still waiting to hear back from them. Joe Robinette's new book is out. He's given me a copy of his book to give away. I've got a copy of Adam's new book to give away. Leak Dry is giving me some socks to give away again. Sulik 46 is going to be donating some prizes. So tons of amazing prizes that you can win. And all you have to do is come and share a paddling story at the H2O booth. It's going to be done on the Saturday of the Hamilton show, and it's only going to be done at the Hamilton Adventure Expo. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm not sure if people are going to love it or not, but I hope so.
They're going to love it.
And then what's going to happen is those video clips are going to get used throughout the year. So people can actually see them themselves on a story or a reel sometime throughout the year from H2O or myself or whoever they won the prize from, sharing their paddling story on social media on a bunch of different pages. So
that'll be cool. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah. It's a lot, I know.
Yeah. No, well, I think that's great because I knew you were doing a contest, but I didn't know what the deal was. Like, yay, that'll be a ton of fun.
Yeah, so, and there's, I mean, like, I think Kevin's giving away a Novacraft canoe, so there's all kinds of prizes that are going to be going on. Trekka's also giving me a bunch of other stuff. We haven't confirmed yet, so I have a phone call with them on Saturday, but, you know, I don't want to do it too early, and I don't want the cat to be out of the bag too soon, so, but I knew I was doing this with you this week, so I've started, you know, about a week ago, I kind of started reaching out to people and saying, hey, like, do you think you might want to be interested in doing this? And, you know, we have such a great community. Like, everybody's just like, yeah, you know, why don't you give away one of these? And why don't you give away this? And awesome. So, and that gives me an opportunity as well to promote our community and our vendors and, show off the talents of everybody. And in the booth where they sit, again, this hasn't been fully designed yet, but I'm hoping to put like the logos of all the sponsors in behind. So when the people are filming the videos, like you're seeing my, Trekka back here and my logo back here, you'll be seeing like Sulik 46 and Agawa and, Leak Dry and Trekka and all the people who are sponsoring or donating prizes. They'll be advertised again there. And then when the videos get posted online, once again. So
yeah,
it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
For those that don't know, Camper Christina is a rock star of the community, and has fully embraced the whole social media thing. So she's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook. Yes, you're on Facebook. I don't even know where else. You're probably on TikTok. I don't do TikTok.
Go to her website.
Not on TikTok.
CamperChristina.com.
People keep trying to get me to do TikTok and that other one that's on. I'm like, I publish a post on Instagram and Facebook almost every single day, at least one. My Facebook, for some reason, has gone bananas. I think I'm at the last 28 days, I have 400,000 views.
God, Zeus.
So it's just crazy. And I've jumped something like 300 followers in the last 2 weeks. So they get these little ruts that they hit, and it's like boom, and then I don't know why. It used to be my Instagram. Now my Instagram's kind of like and my Facebook is crazy. So I don't know. I just post what I like and what I hope people will like, and it's non-political. It's just calm and soothing things, paddling through a creek, or sometimes they're portages and they're kind of fun for me. People are like, "Whoa, why are you doing that?" But I love them. So try to uplift people, and especially with things going on in the world today, it's just kind of social media is a drag, and there's just a lot of crap, and some people are not nice. But my page is a friendly spot, and people comment and they say nice things and they share great information, and it's just a wonderful little place that I have there, my little corner of the internet. So I enjoy it.
That's cool. Well, you're right. We need that buffer against the insanity that's happening out there right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what's on the horizon? We know you're going to do your thing at the Hamilton show, which sounds very cool. What else is in the works?
Yeah. Sorry if I went on about that. I'm just super excited about this. I think it's going to be really, really fun, and I hope people get it. What else is in the works? Well, I'm going to be at Toronto. Saturday, I'm going to be doing the presentation on Route 61 on La Vérendrye. Sunday, I am presenting on Opimican. So I'm really excited about that. I think tickets are already on sale for the show when this airs. It goes on sale December 15th. Great speakers, lots of cool things in Toronto, always. And I've got some winter camping events coming up. Family Day. I should be out at Mew Lake. And Silent Lake I'm going to be going back to. I love winter camping there. I'm hoping to do some other cool trips. That's all weather dependent. And again, right now my timeline is focused on getting these presentations done. And once that's done, I can go out and play in the snow. So, and hopefully by that time the snow is nice and settled and good and here for the season. So yeah. How about you guys? Did you do anything exciting this year? What was your favorite trip?
They were all good. All of our trips. Well, no, Pamela's going to disagree with the Georgian Bay trip. We got we've done a lot of whitewater, not necessarily intentionally this year. So we hit big wind on Georgian Bay, and we were windbound for a few days, but it was fun because we were windbound with Jane Sherry from Beauty of the Backcountry and Alex and Jess from Tents and Timber. So that was fun. Just hanging with they're just awesome folks.
Yeah. And you guys were in Killarney together too, weren't you? Or was that the same trip?
It was basically out of the south end of Killarney. So we stopped at Killarney overnight, and then we put in. Everybody else showed up the next day or 2 days later.
2 days. I think Jane and Sherry were 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually stayed in Killarney. Weather was crap as well. Yeah, so we picked the worst week of weather that we could have, but it was still a great time. Don't care. It was good fun.
100-kilometer-hour winds.
Yeah, it was flattening tents and stuff. Yeah,
on Georgian Bay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad you made it out okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun time. It's always fun camping, no matter where you are, what you're doing, or what the weather is like. So if you know how to do it right, I mean, if you got the right gear, you're always set. So.
Well, that's it. Somebody said, well, what if it rains? What if it rains?
Have a tarp?
I have tarps, I have tents, I have rain gear. I'm also not made of sugar, so I am not going to melt. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. I did a great trip in Algonquin this year. It's just started going up. By the time this airs, I think the whole series will be out on my YouTube. I've been having some problems with my knee as well this year. So that's kind of slowed me down a bit, and I haven't done as many crazy trips as I'd like to. It is back now and everything seems to be good. So I'm like just ready to get back out there next season for like some crazy canoe trips. But I went to the Barron Canyon. And a funny story, hopefully you can fit this in, but I did one of my very first backcountry trips in Acre on is it called the Eastern Pines Backpacking Trail?
Yes, I think so.
A backpacking trip, Thanksgiving weekend in 2002, and I almost froze to death. I hate the cold. Oop.
Sorry. Keep going.
I'll just start there. I almost froze to death. I was so cold. I hate the cold. I had on everything that I brought in with me. And when I rolled over in the tent, the condensation was clinkling down the side, like, because it was frozen. And I vowed never, ever to camp that late in the year again. And now, of course, I winter camp, mostly hot tenting, but I cold camp. And, some of the summer trips and spring and fall, you're -10, -5 too, right? So I've never actually paddled there. So I thought, this is going to be great. So I planned this really great loop. It had a 2-kilometer portage in it. And then my knee, I went to Grape and Wine in Niagara the weekend before, and I spent like 11 hours out partying. When I say partying, it's mostly dancing. And my knee was very, very unhappy. So I changed up the route, but I still went. I did 2 nights on Stratton. And then I paddled out over into Carcajou Bay and did a night there. And then I paddled back to the access. I drove to Squirrel Rapids, yeah. And then parked there and then paddled up through the Barron River and camped one night there. And then I waited until all the people left because it was the holiday Monday of, was it Thanksgiving? Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend. It was the holiday Monday. And I waited till everybody left. And then around 4:00, I paddled through the canyon. I was pretty much all by myself. And I met these 2 lovely young men from the States. And they're like, oh, look, there's a moose. And there was a moose up in the canyon, up in the rocks. I would never have even looked there. I couldn't believe it. And it was a pretty epic adventure. I also saw a bear and a wolf on the way in. And I saw a bear on Stratton. So everyone who keeps saying, I see wildlife all the time, Camper Christina, why don't you? It's because of the places I go. I usually go to these crazy remote places where bears don't really know what people are and they don't look for you for food. And when I go to somewhere like Algonquin, poof, all the wildlife starts popping up everywhere. So that's why.
Very cool. Well, I have to say, I'm painfully jealous. I have planned the last 2 years. We have planned and booked Barron Canyon loops. And both times, I think
Thomas was sick one year.
Thomas was sick this year. He came down with the flu like 2 days before we were supposed to go. And because I had booked a loop, as I got to, like, maybe he'll feel better, but we're 4 days in. Like, I can't do that in, 7-hour drive plus that in one day. So
yeah,
that one went in the toilet. And I think the year before, I think his schedule just didn't play out for it. He ended up having to bail and go and do work things. So I'm going to do it again because third time lucky, right? It's not 3 strikes and you're out.
Yes. Yeah, and it was great to do it the way that I did it, even though I would have loved to do all the portaging and stuff, because a lot of people have already watched part 1 and 2 are up right now. And by the time this airs, I think the whole series will be up. But people were saying, this is really great because I don't like to portage or I can't portage. And so it was a great way to kind of show people, you can come in here, do a 50-meter portage into Stratton, stay there for a couple of days, go out, go to Carcajou, 50-meter portage back out. And then I think it's a 350 or something on the Barron River. And it's a pretty decent portage. It's not like super crazy hard or anything. So super easy places that you can go visit that, are fairly easy to get in and out of. Because I went Thanksgiving, it wasn't crazy busy, but it was still really busy there. So I met a lot of fun people too. But lots of people not wearing their PFDs. So safety first, everyone, please.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. We talked to two gentlemen recently. 10 kilometer, was it 10 kilometer portage?
Yes.
Up in the Arctic. Yeah. It's like a multi-day portage.
Okay. I don't know if you can call that a portage. Can you? It should be a drive or something.
They're in the middle of nowhere, man. These guys do some pretty hardcore stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the guys that I met, the two guys from the States, they dropped off their bikes at the Squirrel Rapids, and they started at Acre, and they went through and did part of the route that I was going to do. They did half of the loop coming back that I was going to do, and then went up through the Barron River and went out at Squirrel Rapids, and then they rode their bikes back to get their car at Acre. I haven't talked to them since they got out, so I hope they made it. If you're watching this, guys, get in touch. I want to know if you're okay, but I'm sure I would have heard something. Holy. But I did get them to wear their PFDs, so I kind of feel like that's a big one. I'm super good.
That's funny. Okay, I think that's it for us. Fine.
All right, that's it for us for today. Thank you so much to Camper Christina for joining us again. And also do check her out, camperchristina.com. Check her out on YouTube. Check out her Algonquin trip on YouTube. And by the time this airs, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. No.
Okay.
Check her out on Facebook too.
Well, all of the series will be up on YouTube. That's what it says. By the time this airs, all of the series.
Right.
Algonquin will be up on YouTube. And check her out at the Hamilton Show in her Speaker's Corner. And also check her out at the Toronto Adventure Show for Saturday and Sunday. And check us out. We'll be at the Hamilton Show and at the Toronto Show. Not presenting, but we will be there. And also please check us out. Email us anytime if you want to at hi@supergoodcamping.com. That's hi@supergoodcamping.com. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Cool.